Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment you made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
And anything can have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
No way. What grade?
That one at the goal.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Boy, if it's one thing I will not let Manchester United do is ruin my weekend. That is the one thing I will not let happen. Okay? If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, Manchester United played Newcastle away today at St. James Park, and we will get into it today. We will dissect certain players and their performances. We will look at the team overall, how they played today. But welcome to All In, All United. Big Phil here. I am your host for tonight, and I cannot do it by myself. If I did it by myself, I would go crazy. So I need 3 other people to go crazy with me tonight. I'm joined here by Lion, JP, and Simeon. I gotta ask you all guys a foolish question, but how are you guys doing?
I'm immune to this.
JP, Simeon, how are you guys doing?
Very frustrated. I mean, I was really trying not to let this team do this to me because I always say these rich players who driving away in the nice cars and going to the big mansions. I was trying not to let them get to me like this, but today they're frustrating me today. I'm frustrated.
Welcome to Manchester United 2023-2024 season. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you're now joining us, don't forget to like and subscribe to All In, All United. Boy, yeah, Simeon.
No, JP said, try not to let this team get to you, but every game is something new that you see that you didn't see before. It's the same thing you see before, but it's always something new to add to the frustration. It's like, I got off work late, listening to the radio, listening to the cast about how this team playing in the first half. All the things are doing wrong, I'm like, okay, well, second half to go fix something. I get home in time for the second half, get my food, my drink, sit down in front of the TV. And in the first 3 minutes, I see everything exactly what I did in the first half. In the first 3 minutes, I see those same problems right again, like they ain't fixed nothing for the second half. I feel like, well, I ain't missed nothing because, right away they're back doing the same one thing. So I'm just amazed how this team could just continue doing the same thing over and over again and nothing, and there's no consequences, there's no change, there's nobody say, hey, let me try something different, or that player have to come out. I mean, it's just, when you look around, it's just like ain't nobody. Ten Hag just there, just looking weak, man. I guess.
Let me ask a question because look, I have somewhat of an agenda in my mind, but I can easily feed off of what you guys are saying, right? So let me ask a question. Has Eric Ten Hag ran out of ideas per se, or is he just so stubborn on this one idea that he's not willing to make any other changes? I don't know what you guys think.
I think first of all, I think he tried different things. All right, and it just continues to not work. But one of the main problems is right now is Rashford. You need to drop Rashford for sure. I mean, the team had a generally bad performance. Well, The midfield was wide open. The defense tried to hold out. But Newcastle kept attacking us on that specific side, right through. And it's time we make a change. Time we give Rashford a little rest, send him somewhere to some camp in warm weather training or something like that. Let him get him mind right. You can't tell me you had a good season like that. Well, honestly, the season was good because he scored, but the decision making is always a problem. Yeah.
Before we talk about Marcus Rashford, because there's a lot to be said about Marcus this season, right? It's the second game in a row. It's the second Premier League game in a row that Kobe Manu has started. So, was Kobe Manu right to start today? And how did he play to you guys today?
Kobe looked good. Kobe looked good today again, but then I think Kobe deserved to start. But my fear all the time with Kobe coming into this team was the same thing happening to him that happened to Casemiro, and the same thing that also happened with Amrabat. When you're playing next to Scott McTominay, you play alone in midfield. You are asked to do the job of more than one player, and you saw it happen to Kobe today. So, Lion, you call Rashford, I call him McTominay. McTominay has no place in this Manchester United team, and this is what is making me look at Eric Ten Hag in a different way now. So to answer the question about if he run out of ideas, I think he's stubborn. Because it seems like he insists on playing this particular formation that he is playing, and all he is doing is changing out the personnel to play the same formation. He's not trying anything different. The only thing he tried different today was coming out in the dregs when he do a Fellaini and put Maguire as an auxiliary striker. That's the only thing he do different.
Was that on him, or you think Maguire take it up on himself?
I feel he probably take it on himself, because to me, and this is what shocked me the most, Maguire was the player that looked like he was trying the hardest today.
Yeah, he played with real hard today.
He really tried today.
You want to hear a joke? I would never thought these words would have come out of my mouth when I was watching the game today, but I was saying, thank God for Maguire. Not only because of his defending, but not only because of his defending, right? Because Maguire has been defending really good these last couple of games. But you know that anytime Newcastle or even Onana did a free kick into the air or a goal kick into the air, right? You know, none of our midfielders are winning the first header. No. Everything that's in the air, everything in the air that's in the air for Harry Maguire being physical and winning the ball. You know, Scott is over 6 feet, guys, and Scott can't win a ball in the air.
He can't win a ball in the air.
Maguire's blocking shots, a lot of shots to he block.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it, we bad talk Maguire so much last season.
But that way saying, let me repeat myself. I did not think that in today's fixture versus Newcastle, I would have said the words, thank God for Harry Maguire. We have been on this podcast so many times criticizing, bad talking, Harry Maguire.
But the funny thing about it, Maguire, is what United's supposed to be about. Fighting for your place.
Okay, all right, yeah. That way, yeah.
I mean technical ability that he has, but I mean he fought for his place and get back in the team. This is what we want from our players.
True. Yeah.
If we do have that, for instance, oh gosh, I don't want to bring up Rashford again, but Rashford seems comfortable.
Too comfortable.
And Maguire actually,
since we're bringing up players that playing shit, I gotta bring up a comment from Paul Scholes, and you guys can talk about the Rashfords and the Scotts, but let me bring up this comment here from Paul Scholes, where he said after the fixture today, rubbish. They are a poor football team at the moment, aren't they? Those results they've been getting recently are misleading. Too many lazy players are in this football team. When he says too many lazy players are in this football team, which players are he referring to?
A lot of our players lazy. Yeah.
Man, call the name, man. Call the name.
I watch it. I watch it, for instance, even today. As much as I like Wan Bissaka,
Oh, he was bad today.
it's a set of lazy clearances, boy, to the Newcastle players, and it's like no desire to be better, right? What only representing this badge? No, these players not representing the badge. That's such a lazy players we have, right? Marshall losing the ball easy. Players just bundling them off the ball. Come on, man. We had to have more desire to win because Newcastle played with the same team for 3 games straight.
3 games straight.
And still had more energy than us now.
And that PSG game was real, sir.
Yes.
That PSG game, they run to the end. They defend for the life in that second half.
And they wasn't supposed to lose that game.
So they weren't. It was a rubbish penalty they get.
All right. So I don't know if how we could do this, but if we could ask for a transfer of desire from Newcastle to our team, because oh gosh, we do have it. We don't have it.
I mean, that's clear. I mean, that was clear. Like, we saw this team, Newcastle, I'm talking about Newcastle team from last year, come alive and with that same drive and that, togetherness that, we play for each other, from the first team. I forget was it their second team that beat us in the cup? They play a backup team and embarrass us at home. Like, we know, I mean, we expected this. This is not a surprise, but we didn't get a corner in that game till the 82nd minute.
Yeah.
A corner. I mean, and Ten Hag looks, I mean, we all wanted Ten Hag, but the way that man talking like, oh, we go get better, then for us show up the fight here and this kind of nonsense. I mean, I don't know what he's seeing in the back room, but right now I can't stand Ten Hag. Defense of Rashford, I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Yep, Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe put together a plan to beat Manchester United. Like, he had men crowded Menu. Obviously they're crowd Menu because everyone knows a young player, and how we just leave our CDM by themselves. So he had guys crowded him out, and you had Shaw and Dalot. He had his wing backs attacking them. I mean, Eddie Howe had a plan to attack us. I want to look at Ten Hag. He had nothing. We get run over the whole first half. He changed nothing until the man watched his team. He watched Rashford do nothing for how long? 60 minutes? That's too long. Rashford had no. I mean, I know we don't go on Rashford, but like, nah, I can't. When I see Ten Hag, I see weakness. You know how, like, when Ragnick started, how he started at the end of his reign, how all he was looking, how these coaches who the team had stopped playing, how they were looking. And it's such a big depart from last year. That man Ten Hag looks so weak now. Anytime you open your mouth, I just stoops and shake my head like, ain't nobody taking you seriously.
Let me ask a question, because we can only play who is at our disposal. But do the likes of Scott and Rashford need to hold some bench in the next couple of games, or will you play them?
If we could afford to, because we could play. I think we could play Amrabat and Meno together and put Bruno.
That's the ideal. That's the ideal midfield with obviously Casemiro, Mount, and Eriksen out. That's the ideal midfield that we should be going for. But
Why?
Why? I don't know. Like he don't even trust Amrabat and all.
No, he doesn't.
But
After you fight for him, and you fight a game like this, look at how we run down Amrabat to bring him
But
to the club.
we run down Amrabat, we run down Mount. Bar Mount's
Yeah.
injury, Mount has hardly seen game time after the first probably 3 or 4 games of this season. You know,
Yeah.
hardly.
So
ideally I would like to see Casemiro and Mino there.
Yeah.
The problem with this team, McTominay scoring, so he given them that
but
kind
the
of
thing is-
license. But then you had to think about this. When you have McTominay on the pitch, you basically have no midfield because your midfield wide open. You can't expect Mino. Mino is not the quickest player. They saw that today. Mino, you can't expect Mino to cover all that ground. He trying, but he
But
doesn't have.
Lion. Other. Let me go back to Scott McTominay. Other than scoring, what else does Scott McTominay bring to Manchester United?
Nothing.
He needs to bring us some money and be sold. That's what he needs to bring us because I mean, no top side will have Scott in their starting 11. No top side because he like a robot. He don't have this skill set.
Cannot put in so much faith in him because he scored a few goals being in the right position, but other than the goals, right now what he doing is forcing Bruno to play deeper than him because he not coming back. So Bruno running deeper.
And you saw Luke Shaw had to run all in the middle too.
Yes.
Luke Shaw was an extra man in the middle.
Back and he was
But just I got another stupid question. How come we on the panel could see this, but Eric Ten Hag and the other coaches can't see this? Why?
This is why I keep questioning this because every podcast you watch from every United fan, everybody's saying the same things about Scott McTominay, about Marcus Rashford, about what is the plan, what is the style are we playing, what is the brand Ten Hag going for, because you're not seeing anything. And I don't want to hear about the injuries because the Newcastle side that beat us today is not Newcastle's
9
strongest team.
injuries.
11.
They playing their brand of football with the players available. They play with a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Before I get to you, Simeon, let me just bring up these two. Let me just bring up these comments by Reem. Reem is saying, "Fellas, are just tired." What am I saying? Bring on 2029? Nah, Reem, not so far ahead. I've told you, Reem, only bring on 2024 because I told you within the first 5 to 6 games of this season, bring on 2024. I might seatbelt, my life jacket is on, but 2029, Lord. Anyway, that's comment. Oh, I see why you're saying that. Okay, it's not getting solved in one window or not even 2 windows. You are right. You are definitely right.
Unless so Jim come and do something.
Yeah, he will have to do something drastically. But here is where, and I hope it doesn't happen. But Sir Jim's nationality is English, so he may want to keep the likes of Scott and Harry and Marcus Rashford. I remember when Sir Jim said, I think it was either prior to the pandemic, that if he was in charge of Manchester United, he would sell Fred. I remember that, right? But yeah, let me get it.
Like he had a hand on it this season before he come in.
True. Before you get to Simeon, Reem is saying McTominay's job was to handle Joel Linton, and he failed miserably. Joel Linton had a field trip on Scott McTominay.
That should never be a job because Joel Linton powerful compared to Scott. He could never handle Joel Linton. And Joel Linton is not the best midfielder out there. So
He's
for
not the
you
best.
to be
He's not the
able to-
best. He's not the best ring, but he's doing a better job as a midfielder versus being a striker. Because I think Newcastle bought him to be a striker, right? But he's doing a better job as a midfielder. But you are right. He's not one of the most flashy midfielders, but he's just hungry to
bootleg
be
Brazilian boy. He just like
Yeah.
Richarlison. Bootleg Brazilian. Yeah. But I mean, Scott could never test them fellas.
Any other lazy players, Simeon? Because we mentioned Scott McTominay. I think Lion mentioned Marcus Rashford. Any other lazy players that you saw? And it could be from this season, not just the Newcastle game today.
Lazy? I mean, you guys go about which game you're talking about. I mean, it's hard, man. Like, one thing I realized about this team is, that fellas are motivated by one thing, and this is why McTominay playing goals. Bruno say then Bruno said that fellas when they get to in final third, they like to pass the ball. They struggle to pass the ball. They all want to score. If you realize that the reason why McTominay is in there is to score goals. Garnacho trying to score. Everybody trying to score goals to stay on the field. That's how they figure, okay, well, my place is going to be, no matter what happened, my place on this team is going to be set by scoring goals. That's why you have that's why you have Scott running through that passing ball. That's why you have Garnacho trying to score. I mean, he scored a few nice goals, which is good. But yes, many players trying to score goals that define, to be that player on the field that can't get pulled off like Rashford was.
But Simeon, if Marcus Rashford is not scoring any goals, then why is he still playing?
We go get to Rashford because he a whole different case by himself. I mean,
children, so that is why you get
ain't no reason, ain't no way he should be in that field. Ain't no way, the man delivering nothing. Only bad attitude, bad juju. Just I see that man I see men run past Rashford and Rashford stop. He stopped and then he said, you know what? I should try at least look like a jogging. That man stop after men run past him. Stop. The whole players run away from him. And that man still in the field. I mean, it's clear as day that man was doing it all game and Ten Hag let a man stay on the field. Rashford, his inclusion in his team makes no sense right now. The man stink up the left side, he stink it up. He go to the middle, stink it up. Go to the right side now, stink it up. And and Ten Hag still said, you know what? We could find a way to, it's our job to, make sure Rashford, feel comfortable. Really? That's what we are now, Manchester United. Our job is to waste a spot on a team waiting for Marcus Rashford to be good. I
was surprised he subbed him today, though.
Yeah.
What minute did Marcus Rashford get subbing? Because I hear trying to figure out was it
70th or something?
The 70th minute?
Somewhere around there. Could be between 65th and 70th. I was surprised. I thought he would have taken off Garnacho and put on Anthony and put Rashford on the left.
Not like Rashford, he ain't hiding it no more. There ain't no hiding how he feels anymore.
But he was vexed that he come off. You could tell me about this man.
Wait.
Martial was upset, and I think the reason the both of them were upset is because of how poorly the team was playing in general. And because when you think about it, Rashford defend more than he attacked in that game, and he didn't even really defend. But he had to run back more.
Why he defend JP? And in mind, he was like, maybe I should run back.
Well, I mean, he had to be more concerned about what was going back than going forward because we didn't have any kind of play building up today to go forward. When you think about the game, we didn't really do nothing attacking wise.
But that's why he had to get involved and get back to
Yeah, and defense.
contribute to drive the
So you
team
see,
forward.
so this is why they say Ten Hag tactic had to change, because if what you're playing now working, then when you make a substitution, maybe don't make the predictable one by just switching out. I want to see him try Martial and Hoyland together. Let
Thank you.
Martial play a little bit off of Hoyland.
I
Like,
want
Thank
why
to
you.
you don't
see
try
that.
something like that?
You see, this week going there, in the Galatasaray game, I was hoping to see two of them together.
Yeah, but
One more,
he not doing that.
Nah, you know.
one more thing on Rashford. Rashford was the freshest player out there. The man had how long he get to rest?
You get a rest
One
for a
last
whole
time.
week.
Yeah, that
The man
week, yeah.
had whole week to rest. The man couldn't
But
couldn't
then
defend him.
again, Rashford resting the whole season because this is what he doing
But
right here,
and this
watching
why
football.
I think Ten Hag man management for in this case, because he trying to play him into form. Instead,
Yeah.
what he should do, let him come on for Garnacho and impact the game and let him win back his place on the left hand side. Instead, what he do is you're shifting him to the right, where he don't like to play. And I think that is why his head dropping even more now, because he don't
So
like to play on the right side.
We had
just,
was
just,
dropping
just,
on
just
the
out of
left earlier in the
curiosity,
season. Rashford
just,
just
just, just
in
out
a
of
hole.
curiosity, if we playing Martial and Hoyland together, does one player play off of the next, or just slightly behind them, or does Hoyland play on the right, or I don't know? You guys tell me.
I will play Martial a little off of him, because Martial like to get a little more involved from like how he like to come off from the left. Because no matter what, he's always gravitates to that left side. If you watch how his game is,
Mhm.
so he like to come off from there. And Hoyland
So
kind of better.
Hoyland knocking down the ball for Martial. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
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 So
I
knock
mean
it down for
something
him and then go forward.
something different. I mean, can't keep doing the
You
same
know,
thing.
we'll never
4-3-1-2
see that.
player,
Because I'm not
4-3-1.
going right back to the same old thing. You're gonna put Rashford on the left in the next game and put Anthony on the right. Watch this.
Who do we have next game? Is it
Chelsea.
Liverpool or it's Chelsea? Oh, boy, the battle of these shit teams, boy. My gosh.
No, but them actually playing good.
There's the
They
thing.
They're
actually
playing good,
have
but
a style.
they're playing good, but they're still getting beat bad.
Yeah.
Let me go through some of these
but
comments
we-
here. English music, thanks for joining. This person is asking, what midfield would you put behind Martial and Rasmus? I think I was getting to that as well, too, you know.
Old schools, yes. Bring that.
I was saying, so to me, if I playing that, I would play Bruno behind them and then play three. So you're playing, if he's so insistent on playing McTominay right now, but if so with what we currently have, I would play McTominay, Amrabat, and Mainu in the midfield, with Bruno just ahead and then the two on top.
Was
So
that
like
diamond or
four
something?
wide.
That's a
Like a
That's a-
diamond.
Yeah, so like a 4-3-1-2 almost like that.
it's like the
Oh,
lesser.
Then the
It's like the
width.
yeah, it's like a diamond. Yeah. Well, is it a diamond? Yeah, it's like a diamond. Yeah, to some extent. I was
Yeah.
more thinking.
Makes sense.
I was more thinking
Yeah.
I was more thinking a Christmas tree, right? Whereas like Martial up top,
Like
Hoyland behind Martial, and then the base would be Bruno, unfortunately Scott and Menu, or it could be Menu, Amrabat, and Bruno.
Bruno. Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
Christmas
Listen,
tree.
I get to the point where I want to see Dan go play.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Look, Dan
instead of Scott.
he was actually good in the Crystal Palace game when where we beat them. The best game we played for the season.
He's a good
Obviously.
player,
Yeah.
right?
Reem is saying that Ten Hag is too stubborn. We're doing nothing different. Same like for all subs every game.
I mean, this is. I mean, last game he take off Arambat and bring on Menu. This game, he take off Menu and bring on Arambat. And look at McTominay up, running up and down the field. He ain't helping out nothing, and he ain't gonna change McTominay. He ain't gonna put nobody on. Have Menu and Arambat put together to I mean, you played away from home at Newcastle, like, and they're playing some good football. And they should have scored like 3 goals in the first half. You figured that would be the move to strengthen your midfield.
Yeah.
This. I mean, that's basic. That shouldn't be. McTominay ain't doing nothing. He might invisible for the whole most of the game. You see him once in a half, and that's about it. Like, you know, it is not rocket science. You know, if you get dominated that bad in the first half, you show up your side in the second half. Don't wait till you go down, 1-0 to try and, bring on Hoyland and Anthony. I mean, they flashed for a little bit, Hoyland and Anthony. They ran around hard, but in 5 minutes, the midfield was going again, and it didn't make a difference because you didn't strengthen your midfield. I don't understand how he keeps doing the same thing and getting the same results, but come back again the next game and do the same thing over again. I mean, and then say, we playing decent football. We not playing decent football. You ain't coaching nothing. I see no improvement for this team from game to game. You wait until the last 10 minutes to try and attack. I mean, I don't know. Ten Hag, I don't know what he's doing. I honestly have no idea what he's doing.
I got a comment here from Reem saying, this block of games are tough teams. Chelsea and Liverpool coming.
Yeah.
Boy, if we hold one against Newcastle and we barely scrape past. No, I didn't say we barely scraped past Everton, because if Everton had taken their chances, it could have been a different ball game, right?
Everton could have to about 6, honestly.
I want to touch on one player that we haven't mentioned tonight, and that is Andre Onana. Andre Onana has been, let's say, the catalyst. Actually, I don't think catalyst is the right word. Has been one of the main reasons why we have been not doing so well this season. You guys think that's the right wording, or am I being a bit too harsh? The should because we did mention the likes of Scott and maybe Rashford holding some bench and trying to make some impact. Should Onana also hold some bench, or should we bring on this keeper from Turkey to play some games and make Onana realize that he is not undroppable? I don't know what you guys think.
I think Onana, the 4-minute Champions League is a problem. All right, he don't have a bad game today at all. But
no,
the Premier League, he doing much better. But I think in the Champions League, that I'm going already to switch our keeper. It's done too late for that because we basically out. All right, unless we scrape and get the Europa, all right, then we could change the keeper. That let him focus on the Premier League, but because he's not doing bad there.
We can still be in the Europa League if we beat Bayern Munich, right? Or is it dependable on the Copenhagen and Galatasaray result?
We could still make the round of 16, but it has to go a certain way. I think it's a draw or something had happened.
Yeah, we had
the Europa. We have to beat Bayern for sure, and Copenhagen have to lose for us to make Europa League.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just to recap, if we beat Bayern and there's a draw between Copenhagen and Galatasaray, we go through the round of 16.
Yes.
If we beat Bayern and Copenhagen loses, we will be in Europa.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we beat Bayern and Copenhagen wins, who goes through to the round of 16 with Bayern Munich?
I think we will end up in Europa still.
Copenhagen will go forward, I think, for that in that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But no matter what, if we beat Bayern Munich, there's still a chance of us still being in Europe. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys want to go through to the round of 16? Do you guys want to go to Europa?
Round of 16, not Europa.
Round of 16. I did listen. I so scared to go in round of 16 right now. The way we playing that.
Nah, watch me. Better we go there and get knocked out and done the story. At least we make it out the group stage.
Yeah,
but
but
to go
to
in
go there
Europa,
and get embarrassed.
nah, better we do that because
We
you
had
know
to
what
face
happened.
inform Real Madrid or something like that. Because
We
we're
will go
going
in
to come
Europa.
second.
We will go in Europa and some lesser team will embarrass us. So better we get embarrassed by a big team than to go in Europa and we get knocked out
So
by
we had
some
to
kind
choose
of
the embarrassment now.
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Hey, let's unite to that. We in a real position as
So wait,
fans.
Champions League is this upcoming week?
Following week.
Or is it
Because we
following
have
week?
Chelsea midweek.
Oh yeah, true. Boy, I mean, I didn't want to switch topic because we still talking about the fixture today, right? Because like at the end of the day, we were the most informed team in the Premier League up to today. But as Paul Scholes said, don't let some of these recent results fool us. They have been a bit misleading, right? I don't know if it's too far to jump ahead, but I'm gonna do it for the last 20 or so, 30 minutes of this podcast. It's December, which means that in a month's time, the January transfer window is going to be opening, right? Are there any players that come to mind that we should buy or sell? Or I could say loan, but like let's focus on buy first or sell. Or we can do both as well, right? I said last podcast we should get in two midfielders and two center backs. I think we should also look to sell Rafael Varane, but that's just my opinion, right? So I don't know what you guys think for this transfer window upcoming.
The thing is, I afraid to even talk about that because this whole situation with the buyer, well, Sir Jim buying the 25%, not even sorted. That was supposed to be sorted during the last international break, and here we are, about a year later since the put the club up for sale and nothing happening. So I don't foresee anything happening of significance in January if the situation with Sir Jim hasn't been corrected. So the most we might be able to do is extend regular on loan and see what players we could bring in on loan. Because I'm not seeing the Glazers shelling out any more money for us to spend if this buyout of the 25% actually takes.
I mean, I find if we could afford it, we should buy Jesus, Buddha. We need help, but we need some help because Lord. But all right, let me be real. I think we need a right winger. Right? We need another midfielder. And a centre back minimum, I would say. All right.
Any right midfielders come to mind? Sorry to cut you, but any right midfielders or center backs come to mind, or doesn't matter?
Well, honestly, when I was looking at one of the podcasts, they were talking about the guy. He has a lot of information that comes directly from United. He was talking about Antonio Silva.
He's a center back. He's a center back, I think.
Yeah, he's Portuguese.
Yeah.
But what he was saying is they may not try to go for Todibo because they don't want to mess with Nice right now as they're in a good position in the league.
Okay.
Right? The only one midfielder I could think about, Onana is a decent option.
From Everton?
Yeah, he's a decent option. He's like a combative midfielder that could come in and help Mino free up a little bit.
You think Everton will let him go in January per se?
Everton have no choice right now.
They have
What choice Everton have? They're in a bad position and they might be under more pressure because I saw an article
they got a
where
win. They got a win today against.
I saw an article where they might get a further point deduction for some other thing they did.
Really?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So Everton would have to start.
You feel too soon for Braffett from them, the young centre back. Too soon for him.
He's English, right?
Yeah.
Why I don't really like English players too much. Honestly.
I get where Lanka when it comes to not liking English players, but there are a few that I could tolerate. There are a few I could tolerate, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
The other centre backs I think we were linked with were obviously like Todibo, Tapsoba, and Goncalo Ignacio. Those are the other two centre backs we were linked with.
But
in terms, yeah.
Ignacio and Silva.
Yeah, Portuguese.
I think Silva is the main targeter.
Yeah.
And Ignacio would be for the left side, like to wrestle with Martinez.
Martinez, yeah.
Right? I think we need a right back too.
The only right back I can think of is the right back from Bayern Leverkusen.
Frimpong.
Yeah, Jeremy Frimpong. He's having a really good season with Xabi Alonso right now. So we'll see.
Based on how their season is going. But his buyout is like only 40 million euros.
Yeah.
I think.
They will sell him in the summer though.
Yeah.
Any other players or any players you think we should get in? I see somebody in the comments said this here. That's the selling doesn't matter, just the buys. The buys will dictate the sales. You are right. Yes, true.
No. Manchester United is the other way around. Yeah, the other way around with Manchester United. We have all these midfielders just doing nothing here at Manchester United. The first thing they will say is we got to sell to buy. We've been hearing that for how long? You have Van de Beek still chilling. You have
he's actually leaving in January, so
he leaving.
He leaving. Sancho leaving. Varane might be leaving, so there may be some cash coming in this January transfer window. Let's see.
How long he leaving? Like we struggle to buy, we struggle to sell. Like we have all. I mean, we have all these players that we say we do have players, but we have players on our team that either and Eric don't like or fall out with. Like you have McTominay. I mean, I know it's going to be hard to sell him now that he's actually playing. I don't know why. We don't know why he's playing, but he's still there. He's at surplus.
You think it'd be hard to sell McTominay like he's scoring goals? No, boy. I think it'd be easy to sell McTominay.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. We have all these injured we have Mount who's injured. I'm sure you're going to hear why buy a midfielder when you have another one who's injured. I mean, all these issues, all these things they will say to say why we won't get another midfielder. I think the most likely thing is if he's fall out of favor with Ten Hag, we might get another centre back. I think striker is something else we might look at because Martial, we only have two real strikers, Martial and Højlund, and we're lucky that none of them have any long-term injuries this season. So those are the two things I'm seeing that we might be. I don't think they're going to buy any players because they to improve the team. I think they'll buy if they have to. I don't think this team, especially with the uncertainty of what Sid Jim will do, I don't see any major unless we've got a striker or a centre back. I don't see any real changes with the team.
Would you guys bring in Ivan Tony?
I would. He's an ideal striker. But he'll cost too much, man. We can't afford it.
Well, technically, he hasn't played for the first half of the season, so that kind of lowers his price.
Nah, they're calling about 80 million for him.
Nah.
He's English.
True.
I see we linked with a guy who plays in Germany. Is Garassi or something? I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
what team he plays for?
Stuttgart or something.
Stuttgart, I think. His release clause is like 17 million.
Is he's a teenager or?
Nah, he older, but he honestly, I don't want we to get him because
you don't want to get him. Okay.
Nope, he's scoring a lot, but I don't think he looks like the type of player that would suit us. All right.
JP, you there?
Yeah. I think I should be back there now.
Okay, yeah. I was asking the guys if you would take Ivan Tony.
Oh, I wouldn't. I like Ivan Tony, but I think if we take Ivan Tony, we had to play two on top. He had to play Royland.
But Lion was saying that Brentford are asking for about 80 million for Ivan Tony.
So, the asking price ridiculous. So I think that's something we had to forget. But I feel Arsenal might go for him or something. If they're smart and really looking to push for that title.
Yeah, if they got Ivan Tony, they're surely winning that title.
For sure.
Yeah.
Chelsea will be good at it.
Yeah.
Chelsea got way too many strikers at that team already, boy. Too many strikers, man. Oh boy. Well, where do we go from here? What do we do versus Chelsea midweek? Do you want to start the exact same starting 11? Do you want to make some changes? I can start with that question first, but before we get to that, let me get through these two comments here. English Music is saying we need to buy a game plan.
Yep.
Totally agree. I have no idea what we trying to do. Buying a game plan, boy, easier said than done, boy. English Music is also saying I like how money is always an issue with buying investment and debt, but not with the shareholders. Their money always pumping.
Of course.
Yeah. So back to the original question: where do we go from here? We have Chelsea next. Do we start the exact same 11 that started versus Newcastle, or are we making changes?
I think we should make some changes. We could start with the same back line. Put Amrabat. Start Amrabat on Meno with Bruno. I would put Martial off the left, Hoyland on top, and maybe Anthony or Garnacho on the right. Yeah.
Anthony hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been like rooting any trees. He's been okay, right? JP Simeon, who do we look to take? Who do we look to take out and put in? Or are you going for the same 11 that played today?
I didn't really like that back four today, to be honest with you. I find that Shaw and Maguire wasn't looking. I don't know if it's because of the space that was in midfield, but I find Shaw was kind of bent and a little too much all over the park. And Ten Hag reason for him playing centre back today was because he didn't want him to be doing that, and somehow he still ended up playing that game. Shaw works with Varane. Shaw don't work with Maguire. So I would put Shaw back where he's supposed to be on the left, and bring Lindelof back in the defense with Maguire.
But what was the reason Lindelof didn't start today?
I think it's tactical, you say? Because he was on the bench.
Everything is tactical.
Yeah. But yet you have a quality defender in Varane who you can't seem to fit into that back line. That's another question mark for me. Like, that not making any sense at all. But play three in the back, like, this is what I'm saying, like, where Ten Hag showing his elite manager level, where you're faced with a situation where you have a defender like Varane in your team, but because he can't play with Maguire, it's either one or the other. Let me try a train it back and do something different, you know? Like,
I just think he trying to.
Try to do work now. Try to do work as opposed to just leaving Varane out of your team altogether.
I think he trying to push Varane out.
It had to be that because this is the same defender he praised all last season.
Well, why are you trying to push Varane? Why are you trying to push Varane out, Lion? I don't get it, but I kind of get it. If it's because of injuries, okay, sure, but
he unreliable. He unreliable. And he will play Varane today, and he played the full game. Next minute, he injured. It's like, come on. How you just get injured so much? Wait.
Yeah. Huh? And we bring in a doctor. There's Arsenal doctor we bring into the team. Like, I not see anything better in terms of.
But he only came recently, yeah? Like in the last month or something.
It was not start of the season?
Nah. He came in the last month. I actually thought he started earlier.
I thought he came in this summer, Lion. No? He didn't get signed in the summer?
No.
Is that September or October?
I think he came in like late October sometime. So, but he didn't come from the start. I actually thought he did, but he didn't.
He probably had to give like a notice period before he could just leave. It's not like a player, so I guess his contract will be set a little different.
Yeah.
Simeon, you making any changes versus Chelsea, or you want to keep the same starting 11?
No, Rashford off. I don't care who you put on. I mean, you can put on Anthony. I mean, Anthony at least will trying to pass the ball. I think Anthony, his confidence ain't quite there, but he knows what he can and cannot do. So I'd rather have Anthony on there than Rashford, giving a half-heart in effort. The Hoyland, Martial, that'll be hard to. You have to. I still feel you want to see. Garnacho has played some good games recently. You still want to give Garnacho a chance, and he left. But will you be brave enough to put him on the bench as well? For tactical reasons, I don't see that. So, I think that'll be a question. Like, who do you leave off? Garnacho, and I think most likely Martial will be left off. And if anything has to change, you might take off Garnacho in the second half and put on Martial if anything has to change. But definitely in the midfield, Menu, and put Arambat next to him, or even Hannibal in there somewhere. Hannibal has played well in most of the games he's played, but yet he can't get a run out. But I doubt he will put Hannibal out there. But after what I've seen from Arambat and anybody else, Hannibal should get a chance to play. Bruno needs to be number 10. You can't have Bruno running back trying to defend and recover, because at that he can't be that guy next to Menu. That's not his game. He's too small. He's not fast enough. He's not tough enough. He can't do it. McTominay needs to be nowhere near this team unless we need a goal sometime in the last 10 minutes. That's McTominay's role from now on. That'll be good, good for the team, because he's nowhere to be seen either way until somewhere at the end. the right back position, right back and left back, like Dalo and Basaka really scare. I like him, but that man is fall asleep too much, man. But I don't want to see Dalo against Sterling. So I don't know. So
So like we need a savior. Yes.
take you on mute.
Sorry. My front three will be Garnacho, Hoyland, possibly Anthony. If not Anthony, then I'm willing to risk trying Dalot as a right winger against Chelsea. Just willing. If it's not my ideal situation, but I'm willing to risk Dalot as a right winger. Midfield would be Amrabat, Menu, and Bruno. Then my back four is Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire, and Wan-Bissaka.
That sounds so funny. Everybody picking Maguire now.
Yeah.
You got to pick who's in form or who's available, and Maguire just happens to be both. Right? So yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Jackson, I'll be so mad if Jackson score. I can't stand. What's it got? Is that that Chelsea striker Jackson?
Yeah, Nico Jackson. Yeah.
But I know you're going to score against us if anybody had a score.
Boy, these last 3 minutes before the hour shuts off. Any closing thoughts? Any predictions? Any players you're tired of seeing? Give me your closing thoughts. I can start with Simeon first.
All I can say is if Rashford starts and he does anything remotely like he plays and acts the way he did at this game, I'm Ten Hag out. Like if I mean, no, I mean it makes no sense. I mean it means nothing because he ain't going nowhere, and if we fire him, we ain't gonna get anybody out there who's better. But like you can't have a player out doing that, and just like stinking the place up, and you just saying, well, we just gotta wait till he feels like playing. At this point, it's not just a confidence thing. It's an attitude thing, and this man leaving his teammates out there to dry. So, Ten Hag.
You're saying Ten Hag starts Rashford, your Ten Hag out, or Ten Hag starts Rashford and we lose your Ten Hag out?
If Ten Hag starts Rashford and he does the same kind of thing he did today, where he plays half-heartedly this whole game and throws a tantrum like he did today, and there's no repercussions, then I mean, I'm Ten Hag out because you can't expect other players to bust do all this stuff and play for the badge when you have this one player who does whatever he wants and nothing happens to him. He starts every game. So
okay, interesting. And you won't be the first person because there are people that are Ten Hag already for the last couple of weeks. So closing thoughts, JP.
I don't think I quite to the Ten Hag out place yet, but today I watch him a little different with the McTominay in particular, because I feel like everybody questioning that McTominay role in the team, what he brings, what he does. So I really want to see Ten Hag try something different. I want to see him choose the best formation based on the players available and the players who want to be out. Because Rashford looked like he don't want to be out. And during the game, what I was questioning with Rashford is when the captain going and talk to Rashford about what happened on the field. Because that's what the captain there for, right? And again, this going to sound real strange coming out of All United podcast. Maguire was more of a captain today than anybody on the field.
Sure.
Maguire was vocal. Maguire was balling up behind men when they were just letting players pass them like cones. I think Rashford passing that. So who on the field could go to these players and say, hey, what you doing? Face up. You're not tracking back, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Raise your head. Like, who on the field is that player? And I think this is where Bruno captaincy does come into question, because when it's against him, he get matched today. He more vexed because he playing again a red card, but you're not concerned with the trash that the team playing,
Yeah.
right? So we are selfish players out there on that team. We don't have a team. So this is why I want to see, and Ten Hag can't really fix that tonight.
Nah.
He can't fix that. There's the players to fix amongst themselves. That unity. That is not on Ten Hag.
The man could help though.
Players
He could help.
fix it.
He could help.
Yeah, he could help.
He could back him up.
You could
I mean,
help by
Rashford-
dropping some of them fellas and making them know that this is not it.
Totally agreed. Closing thoughts, Lion.
I don't know. I want to see more desire out of this team. Could be who Ten Hag picks, because he has the power to do that. I want to see desire from these players. I want to see them play for the badge. Right? I think Rashford need a rest in the next game for sure. I want to see him come off the bench. I want to see him get back that hunger, but I don't even think that will work right now for him, because he's so terrible that I don't even think that would work. Right? Let him sit out at 2-3 games. Same way you're doing Varane. Same way you're doing Pelastri. Put him down to that level too. Because I think Rashford reached that point where he thinks, okay, he is of the level of Cristiano Ronaldo and them fellas and them. So you do have to do certain things.
Yeah.
But you had to bring him down, because he ain't really win nothing. He ain't win a Premier League. He win Europa. He ain't really win nothing. So bring him down. Right? We are players who hungry and want to play. Play Hannibal. Drop Scott, play Hannibal instead. But I'm honestly starting to question Ten Hag. I like him. I want him to do good. But I started to question certain things with him because he have favorites. And favorites don't work. It does not work. And eventually, we had to look to replace Bruno and all. Because I'm tired of certain things Bruno doing that taken away from the team. And that's a player I like. But he doing certain things that taken away from the team. You see the referee didn't make the decision today to give the fella a red? You're going off and still quarreling still. Give him a red. VAR, you have to realize this season VAR not giving us what we want. So we have to do it for ourselves. Right? Yeah, I just want more desire from this team right now. That is all. And hopefully we come out with a victory. Well, the way Chelsea playing, we had to be on point to beat Chelsea. All right? But I'm not looking forward to too much, honestly.
It's funny you mentioned Rashford on the bench, and you think it may not give him any confidence if he is looking to come on and make an impact. And you're kind of right, because Bruno gave this guy a penalty to score in the Everton game. He slotted home, but he was just back to his normal self after he scored the goal. You think that scoring a goal would have given him some sort of boost, right? It did it for Garnacho with the bicycle kick.
Yeah.
We saw Garnacho play well, not only in the Everton game, but also in the Galatasaray game as well. So he scored again. But Marcus Rashford, after that penalty, scoring that goal, it's almost like scoring a penalty is like below him.
And
Bro,
fellas had to push him to celebrate. They had to push him to celebrate. You're supposed to feel that fire inside. I score a goal. I'll gain back my confidence, but no.
Hey Phil, I mean, I don't think he is. I feel like he just depressed, man. Like everyone said, oh, his confidence is. The man has looked depressed. Look like he
But
need a therapist.
depressed
Look like
from
he has
what?
sport.
You going
It's
back
like,
to the gala again. That's not going on at them. You have to,
but I don't care how much confidence you have. You need confidence to run back or to try and at least try and defend or try and look interested. That ain't about confidence. That's just about you feeling bad about yourself and not caring about the whole team in general. That's
But
a
here's the thing.
player.
Here's the thing. When you're watching, when we as fans watch Marcus Rashford do shit on the field, we're not thinking, oh, okay, he couldn't get past opposition defender because he's depressed. We show it at the TV. We get frustrated, right? We're not when Marcus Rashford misplaces, Marcus Rashford misplaced a ball that Wan-Bissaka could never get to. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me, Marcus.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, oh, okay, he misplaced that ball because he's depressed and he get back with the ex-girl and fiance. Well, I'm not thinking that as a fan. But if he is depressed, as you say, Simeon, Ten Hag needs to say, you know what? You settle your depression or whatever you're going through off the field, and we'll put somebody like Palestri or somebody else on the right or to take your place.
just
right?
what you do with Sancho last season. Send him away.
Yeah.
Send him away.
Yeah, boy.
I was sending them to the Middle East, yes.
Nah.
And close the door because we're gonna see Rashford. You're gonna see this Rashford again. He coming back good, and we're gonna see it again because this is not the first time.
Yeah.
Let me get some comments in here before we wrap up the podcast. English Music is saying, I feel he was trying to play a back three, play a three in the back in attack, but it didn't work out. And then last comment from English Music, Carrington have a jumble. His years now, man, get him break up every.
Jambi.
A Jambi or not Jumbo, sorry, Jambi. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Guys, let's end this therapy session. Lion, JP, Simeon, thank you very much, man. Yeah, it has been almost hour and 10 minutes of us discussing the fixture that we lost today and Chelsea coming up this Wednesday. It is what it is. We move. Thanks guys for tuning in. And all in, all united, we are out.